Salutations friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk to you about my 5 favorite fragrances that I think would be really awesome for work or holiday parties this year. Now these are fragrances that I like to generally wear if I'm going to a party or an event and I really want to make a statement. So if you want to see what my 5 picks are, keep watching. I'm going to talk about today is a classic. This one can be found in most everybody's wardrobe. Everybody knows it. A lot of people love it, and it's one that I like to wear, especially if I'm going to someplace special or a special event, and it's Chanel No. 5. Now, the reason why I like this one for going to parties or events is this is one of the fragrances that makes me feel super confident. And I just love wearing this and knowing I smell amazing and walking into some place and just feeling just special. I don't know, even though it's a classic, it's not unique. A lot of people love this and wear this. This is just one of the fragrances in my fragrance collection that I always reach for whenever I'm going to a special event. I get a lot of compliments on it. Some people don't quite understand what the fragrance is when they smell it on me, because this one with my body chemistry, it kind of comes away a little, it becomes a little bit more syrupy than it does on other people. I know other people get more florals, more aldehydes. I get syrup on this, which is another reason why I really like to wear it. And so people are like, oh, what are you wearing? And I'm like, Chanel No. 5. And they're like, really? Wow, it smells amazing on you. So I love getting those compliments when I wear this. So this is definitely one of my favorite fragrances for parties or events, specifically during the holiday season when I want to make a little bit of an impact and feel really confident and in charge of myself. Because I'm never really in charge of myself. I'm kind of a scatterbrain. So this puts me in that mindset, which is really nice. One of my favorite fragrances to wear, specifically if I'm going out to dinner or to a dinner party, is Dior Addict. Now, the reason why I like this one so much, specifically I like the 2014 reformulation, which this one is this is just such a beautiful boozy vanilla, but it's just the floral aspects and notes to this really just kind of make it elegant, and elevates the vanilla from just not being just some like cheesy gourmand that's like vanilla and syrup and sugar. It kind of just makes it more sexy and mysterious and alluring, and I just love this. I also like the way that it plays on my skin. I love the longevity of it, and I also like how every time I wear this, people always ask what I'm wearing. And again, kind of like the Chanel No. 5, they're a little bit surprised when I say it's Dior Addict, because they're like, oh, I smelled that and I didn't like it on me, I like it on you. So this is just one of the fragrances that I like on me, and I love smelling this on other people. This is one of the few fragrances where I can distinctively tell when you're wearing it, and I get so excited because I don't think a lot of people wear this anymore, and I really think this should be like worn by everybody. I think this is a really flattering fragrance on anyone. Man, woman, child. You could be 10, you could be 90. This is just a really beautiful fragrance. The other reason I like to wear this to dinner parties is because of the vanilla. It doesn't really fight with food. And that might seem a little bit weird, but have you ever gone to like a restaurant and someone's wearing just this really thick, heavy perfume, and although it's beautiful, it doesn't mingle with the smells of the restaurant or the food or your dinner or your lunch, and so it kind of seems to be like combating those food smells, and it kind of makes for an experience that's not too pleasant. I don't know if I'm the only one that thinks that way. But just how this is really nice and alluring. The vanilla and the fragrance and the floral notes of this don't tend to fight or combat with food. So this is a really nice, I know that's so silly, but this is actually a really nice, appealing fragrance that works well with dinner. I know, it's silly, but that's why I like to wear this to dinner parties. Also because I think it makes me smell sexy. Next up is Rose 31 from Labo. Now, I had mentioned in my Labo Rose 31 review, which I will link below, that I had just recently purchased this bottle, but I had like 5 samples of this that I had been wearing off and on for the past year and a half. So I do have some experience with this fragrance. What I love about this rose, specifically for holiday parties, is it's not going to be one of those super soaky, like stinging your nostrils, heavy rose floral fragrances, which sometimes I absolutely love, but not a lot of people like that. So what I love about this rose is this isn't a sweet rose, this is a very kind of spicy rose. It's got citrus, it's got spice, it's got the rose in there, they don't compete with each other. The notes kind of create this really beautiful, distinctive fragrance that not a lot of people are going to understand, but they're going to appreciate. This is one of Le Labo's most popular for a reason. I like this because of the spicy pepperness of it. I don't know if you can hear, my cat just knocked something over. The spicy pepperness of this really makes this sexy. For me, spicy fragrances are sexy. They're sexy on men, they're sexy on women, they're sexy on like in your late 20s, in your late 90s. If you wear a sexy, spicy fragrance, I'm like, hello. I mean, just for a sec, but I mean, like, it's one of those fragrances that just, to me, is just, that's what sexy is. It's spicy and feisty and fiery, and this is just a beautiful peppery rose, which is one of the flavor profiles. If you ever watch my fragrance videos, I call fragrances flavors. I've been doing it for like 2 decades, so it's just how I do it. It's what I said in the perfume forum. Like, what's your favorite flavor? And they look at me like I was crazy. But like, I love peppery roses right now, and like woody roses, and this is just a beautiful woody, peppery, citrusy rose. The rose is in there that kind of just makes this a little bit floral, but I love how the notes play together, and this is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful scent. I would say this would probably work the best if you were going to an office party or kind of like a late afternoon party or a lunch party, because I can find that this might be a little bit light for like evening formal, but evening casual and late afternoon parties, I think this would be a fantastic fragrance to wear, especially if you wanted to get compliments, to make a statement, to smell distinctive, but still not be super oppressive with your fragrance. Like, again, not a super soapy, sweet floral that's going to sting the nose. But this will also be very playful and feisty. So yeah, I love this one for that. Next up is a limited edition fragrance, and if you guys ever have your chance to get your hands on this fragrance, I highly recommend doing it. And it's Flowerbomb Rose Explosion from Viktor and Rolf. Now this has the Flowerbomb heart in it, which is this beautiful, eclectic, really exciting floral fragrance, but then it's got the rose. But what I love about this is the spicy saffron. It plays beautifully with the floral notes. And this is just one of those fragrances where you wear and people literally will stop me and say, what are you wearing? Where is that? Where can I get that? This is just a beautiful scent. This is a sexy scent. This is an empowering scent. This is going to smell sexy on a man, on a woman. Again, like young, old, doesn't matter. This is one of those universal fragrances that are flattering on everybody. I also like the fact that after the spicy rose kind of goes away, and on me it goes away after about 2 hours, the Flowerbomb notes still stay there. So you're going to smell beautiful for probably 5 to 6 hours if this lasts on your skin at the length that it lasts on mine. There we go. Because I have an issue with fragrances kind of wearing away after 3 to 4 hours. This one definitely stays on my skin for a very long time. Unfortunately, again, the spicy saffron kind of wears away after 1 to 2 hours, but you are going to smell beautiful the entire time you wear this. So again, if you ever have the chance to get this fragrance or try this fragrance, I would definitely recommend it. But this is definitely a sexy, flirty, fun fragrance that you can wear to holiday parties or lunches or friends' parties if you want to smell really feisty and a little bit rebellious and beautiful and elegant, because the floral in this is just gorgeous and it just pairs beautifully with the spicy saffron. Last but not least, I saved this one for last because I think this truly is probably my top recommendation when it comes down to the perfect fragrance that you could wear to make a statement at holiday parties or dinners. Now this one I'm going to describe very weirdly because this is, to me, both very distinctive and unique, but also something that's not going to offend anybody. And if you ever in any of my fragrance videos say anything is oppressive or offensive, I'm really talking about people who have like noses that can't stand very strong, pungent fragrances. If you're a collector of fragrances and you love fragrances, a lot of different notes in fragrances you can really appreciate, even if it's not your favorite way to smell. People, I think, who aren't fragrance collectors, who just love fragrances, I don't think that they have, and it's going to sound weird, like the palette for notes. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think if you don't have a passion for it, you don't look for that, you just want to smell nice or clean or pretty. And so when it comes down to specific fragrances, you might not understand why the nose behind the fragrance mix those notes together and why it's popular amongst fragrance collectors, and you smell it and you're like, that smells like garbage. So this particular fragrance, the reason why I love it is I think it's very unique, but it's also not one of those fragrances that's going to confuse people who don't maybe have the palette, the nose palette for fragrances. This is universally flattering on men and women. I think it's very beautiful. And I think this is probably right now one of my favorite fragrances to wear in the evening. And what it is Elizabeth and James Nirvana Rose. Now what I love about this fragrance is, to me, it's not so much of a boozy like vanilla rose, but it does have that kind of syrupy texture that you would get from like really heavy like honey vanilla amber gourmands. That's really popular with me right now, that I really seek out. What I love about this fragrance is it's deep, it's sexy, it's a little bit rebellious, but it's not going to oppress the noses of people who don't like heavy fragrances, although this is a heavy fragrance. A perfect example, and I use this all the time, is Hypnotic Poison. I love Hypnotic Poison, but it is just one of those scents where either you love it or you can't even be around it. It makes you sneeze, it makes your eyes water, it makes you nauseous. It's just one of those fragrances where if people don't like it, they absolutely hate it. I love this one because this has that richness that Hypnotic Poison has, or all the Poison fragrances have. Also kind of like Angel. It just has that richness without it being too powdery or overtly oppressive to where people are gonna like shy away from it. The rose in this is what sings. It matches with that kind of like deep, surrey, almost velvet-like texture that you get from this fragrance. It's like a texture. It's very interesting. I fell in love with this. And the rose just makes this really sexy, really beautiful, and it makes it a little bit more elegant than just some random, here's this like boozy fragrance to wear so that everyone thinks that you like different perfumes. It's definitely unique in that regard, but it's not going to hurt people's noses. It's going to be universally flattering on anybody, and this is one of the fragrances where you can wear it just about any event. You can wear this daytime, you can wear this evening, you can wear this to a dinner party, kind of like the Addict. This isn't going to compete with the smells of food. It's going to work really nicely with them together. If you go to a party, it's not going to be so, it's not going to fill a room so much where it's going to compete with people's noses and other fragrances. This doesn't sit close on the skin, but it doesn't waft so far away that it's going to leave like a heavy aura of fragrance. This leaves a nice trail behind it as you wear it without, again, kind of like oppressing people 50 feet away. And again, because of the rose and just because of the general like velvetiness of this fragrance, I think this is a gorgeous, sexy, flirty, alluring fragrance that you can wear for holiday parties. If you kind of just want to like feel confident and sexy, and you like to do that through fragrances. That's how I like to exude sexiness and confidence, because I'm not sexy or confident. I like to at least pretend through fragrances, and this is my absolutely favorite one. I also think because this is a little bit distinctive, it's not unique, but it's definitely different than what a lot of people smell like, that is also going to be a compliment getter. You're going to get compliments. People are going to ask you what you're wearing, who is it, oh my gosh, I love it. And this is just really going to make your night when you wear this fragrance. Okay, yeah, I hope you liked this video. Got a little long-winded on some of them, and I didn't do a full review or go into any of the real notes of these fragrances just because a lot of these people already know. But if you'd like a review on any of these fragrances, please let me know below. If you have any recommendations for fragrances that you think would be fantastic and good compliments to an outfit or an evening out for parties or events during this holiday season, let me know. I'd love to know your recommendations. If you think any of these shouldn't be on the list and that you think that maybe I like something that's not as good, if you think some of these shouldn't have been on this list, let me know too. I'd love to know your thoughts and recommendations. As always, if you like videos like this, remember to give it a thumbs up. It lets me know to continue doing videos like this, and also don't forget to subscribe. It's free, and I'm free, and I put out new videos every Monday through Friday, and sometimes on the weekends as well, so I'll always have something for you to watch. In any case, I hope you guys are all happy and healthy and have a great day, month, year, whatever, and I will see you next time. Bye!